Old school Pac-Man. Pac-Man had well over like 3 dozen ports or something, and 500,000 ripoffs. Um, yeah, everyone ripped off this game, and this game was ported to every system. Um, I'm not like, oh look, I can't even see my guy down there. Um, one thing I've found to be useful is just ignoring them and eating these things. I don't know if other people do that. Maybe it's better to just eat them. No, see, but they just come right out. See, I think it's just more useful to just eat them if they're in the way. Like now, see? See, but I don't want to I don't want to just go out of my way to get them. Wait, see, like that's a good chance. That's a good opportunity to grab them. I think they might have you here. Yep, they got me. Apparently my aunt's really good at this game. I feel like anyone younger, everyone a little bit older than me is great at this game, I feel. Um, I don't know, I'm not that great at this game. I don't know all the pro strategies. I just know I like the turbo mode. The turbo mode is actually kind of where it's at. I don't think this has turbo mode. It's more like a thing you like get with an actual like arcade cabinet. Sorry, I'm not really talking. I'm just actually focused on playing the game. That's kind of defeating the purpose of playing these like old school games for this whole recording purposes. Like I'm just trying to play something that's like mindless that I can kind of talk over. Maybe when I get kind of in the groove. Let this cutscene play. Trying to figure out whether I want to play this with joystick or the D-pad. Maybe the D-pad. Okay, you know what? I can hold the direction that I want to go. That's a lot easier. I feel like I was maybe talking a little bit more before with that Galaga game. Well, I guess if I just think of something I can talk about, maybe I can just talk about it. Oh, did I? Oh, I did it. Let's see. All right, let me think of something to talk about. We got cherries and strawberries and peaches over on that side. Guess I could talk about cherries, peaches, and strawberries. I just bringing this all back around to food. Maybe I'm hungry. I think there's just a lot of talk. There's a lot to talk about food in general, but I personally like cherry jelly. Cherry pie is good too. Cherries are also just a nice fruit. Let me talk about something that's not food. Or health insurance. Goodness. Why don't I talk about water parks? I just, on a whim, decided water parks. I'm going to talk about water parks. There was only one water park that I'm really familiar with, and I don't know if it's still open. It was called Wet n Wild, and it was in Nevada. And I remember my dad, the company my dad used to work for, was a lamination company, and they'd always have a company picnic. Sorry, I'm gonna eat some of these guys. They'd always have a company picnic, and they would have burgers, and they'd have, you can stay late, you can stay past the closing time. If you had the special wristband, you can stay in past a certain time. Or it's pretty cool. They had a lazy river. They had the big steep one, the big steep down chute, the bomb one where you like get in the bomb chute and they drop you. They had the Royal Flush. Of course, it was called the Royal Flush because it was Vegas. They're kind of keeping in tune with the whole gambling thing. I guess I could talk about gambling. I never really got into gambling, but I could talk about it. I could talk about anything. Talk about stuff I don't know about. Talk about stuff I didn't do. I could talk about parachuting. I've never been parachuting either. Who's gonna tell me I can't talk about parachuting? Oh. So anyways, Wet n Wild. I remember I was the first one of my old friends to actually go on the on the one that shoots straight down, the slide that goes straight down. Well, not straight down, but like it's super steep. Um, yeah, yeah, I remember getting on that. Then pretty soon I was actually afraid to get back on it, but then like my old friends were like, "Oh, once we saw you get on, we decided to get on," and then they were like fearless about it, and I was still kind of reserved about it, even though I had kind of been the first one in our group to go on it. Like, I was fearless enough to be the first, but I was cowardly enough to not want to get back on it. Um, and you know what? They had such a weird toy. They had a couple weird toys. Number one, they had like a Play-Doh. It was like a fond taffy. And I don't mean fond like, oh, that's a jolly. I mean fond as in like a sugar fond sculpting putty candy. Um, you could get that and kind of like make sculptures with your candy. They had that. They had like a little. Actually, it wasn't little. It was huge. It was a sea cucumber that was basically just like a big. How do I explain it? It was like, yeah, it was a sea cucumber. You just, wow, everyone's faster now. um, what you do is you fill them up at this water station. You'd put like a little. They're like eels. So you'd, oh geez, you'd fill them up at these water stations, and you can spray by releasing the valve on it. It's so weird. It was like kind of like a long, skinny pastry tube. You know, like with like chefs have those pastry tubes. It was kind of like that, but it just kind of relieved pressure on its own from the water that was built up. Oh, jeez, this is really intense now. Ha 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 ha. Um, yeah, and you just kind of release the valve and it would shoot water. It was basically like a little like it was like a little super soaker that was just looked like an eel or whatever. It was a pretty cool little toy though. And I remember if you bought one, they actually came with little nozzle attachments for your hose. Um, and you could fill them up at home, which was cool, you know. It was kind of like a summertime squirt gun toy. Oh, these don't even last that long anymore. What else should I mention about Wet and Wild, the water park? I can talk about Raging Waters, another place I have been to before, but I don't remember much about that place. And plus I'm going to end the recording right here. I'm kind of done with this game. But there's Pac-Man for you. But what else do I remember about Raging Waters? Not much. I've only been there like a few times in my life. A few times when I was young, and then like once when I was a teen. I don't remember a whole lot about that place. I just remember I like Wet and Wild a little bit more, because maybe it's just because we're manageable, or I knew where I was going and what was going on, like as far as the attractions. I had fonder memories of that place. But yeah, look at him go. Yep. Anyways, this is where I'll end it. Maybe I'll play one more and then probably just check back these videos and maybe upload them, depending on how tired I am. I have been up 24 hours, which I haven't slacked on telling everyone who's watching this. um, but yeah, I'm enjoying recording. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more of the hang of this when I'm sleep deprived. Maybe that's the trick. No. Anyways, this is where I'll end it. Thank you for watching.